Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again, Hudson County View, live and uncut. I am your host, the personification of Ground Game God Global, John Arhitis, and we've got a lot to talk about just like any other week. As you're well aware, we had some elections last week in North Hudson, and we now know that Gabriel Rodriguez is the new mayor in West New York, and in North Bergen, to the surprise of very few, if any of you, Nick Sacco remains the mayor there. So let's start off there over in North Bergen. So they had their ceremony right on the steps of Township Hall. That was Tuesday at noon. Mayor Sacco was sworn in for his 10th term in office, first elected a commissioner back in 1985, and he became mayor in 1991. So this is his 8th term where he was sworn in, and there was a few dignitaries on hand, and many residents, people from Town Hall, and a lot of people that were excited to stay with this administration. As you guys know, this was not as competitive a race as some may have expected back when the year started, when the calendar just turned over to 2019. So let's take a look at what happened there.
This is Jay Sacco. We solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God.
This is the 10th time I've been sworn in, the 8th time as mayor. So it seems to be a long time. And we went door to door, meeting people, and I don't think I ever saw anything like it. I never saw the enthusiasm within the organization and within the people themselves as we went around. Even election day, people were stopping us and telling us they were with us. And it was really a great feeling to go through that campaign, to see the people who were responding. They believed our message. They knew we were trying to make our Bergen a better place. And it became a very, very effective campaign. All of you were part of it. And the commissioners also did their part as strongly as they could. And we are now looking forward to 4 more years. The 4 years, we have to build a school system. We have to get it out of court and build the school system. We have to finish the park, finish the recreation center. Do all our infrastructure in our parks. We have to fix our roads, and we have to make the town a better place to live. We have to have construction that's wise, and we have to build this town and make it the best place anyone would want to live. I love you,
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hey guys, Hudson County View live and uncut. John Arhitis, and of course again with my colleague Mark Bucinich. Mark going to be joining us for the duration of the show from here on out. So on that point, Mark, as you saw, obviously you weren't there, but as you saw, like everyone else has, that oath of office is being taken by the North Bergen Board of Commissioners, the reorganization meeting, to the surprise of no one. They selected Nick Sacco to be the mayor again. We
Right.
saw Hudson County Superior Court assignment Judge Peter Bariso do all the oaths of office. Looking back on this race, Nick Sacco wins about 69% to 31%. Anything that surprised you this time around, being a North Hudson born and bred guy yourself? Most people don't know.
That's right. Exactly, John. Good information to point out to the audience. Born and raised well, not born, but raised in Guttenberg, I should say, but born in New Jersey. You know, it was interesting. You reported, John, that given that his challenger Larry Weinstein had seemed to put in a lot of money in this particular campaign cycle to try to unseat North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco. Nonetheless, he came up short than he did 4 years ago. So even though we saw so many of those different those trucks driving around with the digital ads in town, highlighting or criticizing, some of those messages were obviously criticizing Nick Sacco's record. Nonetheless, Mayor Sacco came out victorious.
So with that said, I'm guessing you don't sound and look incredibly surprised.
No, I'm not. I mean, given that and we've been reporting from North Bergen Town Hall as well, John, and obviously going back to, I think it was back in March when the mayor and his team of commissioners, who were all back with him again at City Hall, unveiled all those petitions that they were able to collect from residents. And I had an opportunity to interview Mayor Sacco to ask him how were people responding when his campaign volunteers were going out into the field. And they said that most residents were enthusiastic for another Nick Sacco term.
Well, yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, like they always say. Again, not the most competitive race we've ever seen. As you noted, and as people have observed, it's a little less competitive the last time around. I mean, Nick Sacco went up about 500 or so votes, Larry Weinstein down about 1,000. So who knows what 2023 holds? Obviously, that's at least a few lifetimes in politics, especially up north, but we'll see. So with that, I still want to talk about West New York, do a little recap there before we move on to some of the topics you covered this week. So as you're well aware, Gabriel Rodriguez, the new mayor, and we have two new commissioners. Those are Yolisi Yanez and Victor Barrera, and they're joined by fellow incumbents, Cosmo Cirilla and Margarita Guzman. And something that many people found interesting was that Governor Murphy actually made it to the inauguration. He just stayed for a couple minutes. Before I get your reaction, Mark, I think now is as good a time as any to show the people that clip.
Here for the very simple reason to pay homage and respect to your next mayor and the 4 extraordinary commissioners who will be sworn in alongside of him. This is a day of renewal, a day of a new beginning. This is about the future, and you could not have better leadership going into that future than your next mayor, Gabe Rodriguez, and those 4 extraordinary commissioners. God bless them. They will do the work that you need them to do. They will build that stronger, help us build that stronger and fairer New Jersey by building the stronger and fairer West New York.
I ask that you take a second to capture this moment in your mind. To make note of where you are, and more importantly, what it has taken for all of us to stand here before you today. Planification, organization, even the aggravation. Take into account all the hard work and sacrifice that was poured into getting us here to take this oath today. Ladies and gentlemen, be proud. Be proud of yourselves. Enjoy it. Savor it. Sometimes, and maybe more than just sometimes, hard work does pay off. And this is one of those times.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to newportnj.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. newportnj.com. Newport, live like you want.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Hey, here we are again, Hudson County View, live and uncut. John Arhitis, Mark Bucinich. So Mark, obviously we just saw that clip with Governor Murphy and new Mayor Gabriel Rodriguez over in West New York. So obviously that was, if I say so myself, I thought that was a pretty fun race. I know you didn't get to up there as much as I did, but
Sure.
Just looking back on it, seeing what now ex-Mayor Roque and his ticket had to offer versus Commissioner Rodriguez, what were some things that stuck out to you in this contest?
Well, first things first, John. I mean, incredible that Governor Phil Murphy made his way back up to northern Jersey. He does come up here quite a bit. I guess he needs a break from New Jersey State Senator, State Senate, or the president of the State Senate, that is Steve Sweeney.
It looks like he's going to need a lot of those, yeah.
But I thought that overall that now the new mayor, Gabriel Rodriguez, and his new commissioners, his team of commissioners, I thought they had a very robust campaign, and I guess their message obviously resonated more with the residents of West New York this time around, even though former Mayor Felix Roque had won the previous two elections, but I guess the residents felt it was a long time for a change now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the long story short, right? I mean, most people watching know that Mayor Roque ran unofficially off the line, because technically it's nonpartisan, but we both know how important the Hudson County Democratic Organization support is in these races.
Of course.
But even with that said, in 2011, he was still able to defeat Sal Vega in a very close one, and then he was back with the machine in 2015 in a relatively lackluster contest against Count Wiley, at least when you compare it to the previous one. And now this one, Roque again against the machine. But this time, you know, he takes the L for the first time. I mean, you know, the guy had a very interesting career. I mean, I don't know how closely you followed West New York these past 8 years, Mark, but, you know, Felix Roque, again, beats the machine, wins again with the machine, beats a federal indictment, beats an Attorney General's office indictment, and, you know, finally, you know, I guess he finally had his number called. But it was quite an interesting time, to put it nicely.
Well, and in those two previous runs, John, he did have the support of current Congressman Albio Series, correct?
That's true. I mean, unofficially in 2011, but then certainly officially on the record, there was an on-camera endorsement, as you probably know, and most people watching probably know. You know, the congressman was behind him 100%, and it's good that you mentioned that, because obviously this whole melee began because Congressman Series said at a fundraiser last year, all the way back in March, that he'd had enough of Roque and he was going to take him out. And clearly he made good on his word. You know, obviously Mayor Roque supported Brian Stack for the HCDO chair. Obviously Gabe Rodriguez, Albio Series on that side supported Amy DeGeez, and we know how that ended. And, you know, it just looked like there was just too much collateral damage to be fixed. I mean, in your opinion, do you feel like the beginning of this battle began over the chair seat, or do you think there's more to it than that?
I think that once Congressman Albio Series came out in support of the New Beginnings West New York team, I think that spelled the last days for Felix Roque as West New York mayor.
So obviously we're talking like this is all in the you know, in the rear view, but as you know, and as everyone else probably knows, there's technically still a recount on the books. It's in Hudson County Superior Court. You know, I would say I have a better chance of going on a date with Beyonce than this thing actually changing the result. But be it as it may, it still is in the court as we speak today, correct?
That's very interesting, John. I mean, Felix Roque is hoping that maybe the recount will turn in his favor. I mean, he did lose, I guess he could have won, I guess, one commissioner seat, but I guess he was down by at least 650 votes below the commissioner Miss.
Yulisa Yanez, yes.
Exactly. So if he was able to secure votes just ahead of her, he would have been able to retain at least one commissioner seat. But that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, it looks unlikely. I mean, that was the initial total was 650 from the clerk's office. That was from election night. Since then, they've done a further review, counted some of the vote by mails and provisional ballots, and it's actually a little higher now. It's 674. The latest that we've heard from, like I mentioned earlier, Judge Bariso, the assignment judge, he's saying that he's going to need some real evidence of fraud or some real compelling documentation for him to really continue this thing. I'm a little surprised that we've made it to this point, but you know, listen, stranger things have happened, but it looks like this is a long shot, to put it nicely.
Yeah, it's safe to say that I think Gabriel Rodriguez will be West New York's mayor for the next 4 years.
Yes, sir. So, all right, we're going to take another break, ladies and gentlemen. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hello, everyone. Mark Bucent of Hudson County View. Thanks for joining us here at Hudson County Live and Uncut here in the North Bergen studios. John, good to see you again.
Yes, very good, Mark. Always good to see you as well. So obviously you weren't able to go to these swearing-in events because you were having all the fun in the Mile Square City. Hoboken Mayor Bhalla has unveiled his 5-person slate. Just for those who haven't got a chance to look at that yet, let me just give a quick rundown that in the first ward he's got Migdalia Pagan Mulatto. In the second ward he has Nora Martinez de Benedetto. In the fourth ward he has Lisa Springle. Fifth ward Phil Cohen. And finally in the sixth ward he has Kristen Coco Powell. So with that said, Mark, obviously you were there, so let me let you take it away and tell us what you think about this ticket and their chances against those incumbents.
Yeah, sure. No, thanks, John. It was a real interesting event to cover. It was at the 10th and Willow Avenue Bar in Hoboken on Tuesday evening. And Mayor Bhalla was there with his new council team, that the names that you just mentioned. And we had a chance to interview the mayor before all the festivities began and before the place became so crowded. It was a little bit difficult to maneuver the camera on the tripod, but nonetheless, we were still able to secure that interview with the mayor. And we asked him about, you know, why he, you know, his answer, or rather, we asked him, does he feel that his new team would do a better job at governing in Hoboken than the current incumbents? And he emphatically agreed. And also, we had a chance to interview two of the challengers, Mr. Phil Cohen and Miss Migdalia Pagan Milano as well.
So listen, it's no secret to anybody that pays the slightest attention to Hoboken politics and Mayor Bhalla and the council majority don't get along. Obviously, they have not even said much. We know Mike DeFusco announced all the way back in February, I believe. So, you know, clearly we have at least one matchup. Do you get the sense that any of the incumbents are going to sit this one out?
The feeling I get, John, just from what I, you know, following on social media as well, and just from just a sense of how this election will play out, I think all the incumbents will be running robust campaigns against, I'm sure they'll be looking forward to the challenge.
I would say that's a fair assessment. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the clip and let's actually see what Mayor Bhalla and a couple of those candidates had to say.
Sure.
I think this city is in need of new energy, fresh ideas. These are not politicians. These are just ordinary citizens who want to make Hoboken a better place. And that's exactly what Hoboken needs.
And my final question, Mayor, say all 5 candidates come November, not one of them wins. How do you feel, or how would that affect your overall governance in Hoboken going forward?
we come back as a family. My office is always open to all the city council members. I try to make sure that I advance policies that are good for Hoboken. When elections are over, we try to come back together and move the city forward as a community.
So how do you think your message will fare better with the constituents, say, compared to what his record and service on the council has been thus far?
Well, he's been on the council for 12 years, so this is really about me introducing myself to the voters and my record and what I've done for the community. I've been working hard. I've been living here for 33 years. I've raised my children, my 19-year-old daughter, my 23-year-old daughter that are here. My daughter's here tonight. You know, my home is right around the corner from this restaurant, and this is really where I've grown up. But because I haven't been on the city council for the last 12 years, it's really my time to introduce myself to people and let them know who I am and why I think I'm the right person to serve the 5th Ward.
And it's my last question, Phil. So when you started going out and canvassing and somebody says to you, for example, why is your message better than Mr. Cunningham's, what do you say to them?
You know, it's funny. I've already started knocking on doors, and I haven't been asked that question once. People are interested to know who I am, what I'm interested in doing, what kind of change I'd like to see in Hoboken, and what kind of issues are important to me. And that's what I've been talking to the voters about, and I think that's what voters want to hear.
Migdalia, great speech, by the way, tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You know, just one follow-up question. You know, you're the incumbent that you'll be running against, First Ward Councilman Michael DeFusco. He raised something like $500,000 during his mayoral campaign. Do you feel confident you'll be able to match that during your, I'm sure it'll be a heated council race. You're confident you'll be able to match that?
Well, wow, $500,000 is a lot of money. Congratulations to him. However, this is not a mayoral campaign. You know, I'm not taking, did he spend all of that money necessarily or receive it? Who knows? Who cares? We're talking about a city council race. We're talking about what I need to do here is be in tune with my constituents, and that entails me knocking on doors, relating to them, talking to them, which I do anyway because I'm a genuine person, and that's how we're going to win this election.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office space and an address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation. On-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. 201-521-9000 or visit on the web at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Welcome back, everyone. Glad you could join us again. Mark Busich of Hudson County View, joined here with my esteemed colleague, John Hines. We are live with Hudson County View, live and uncut right now.
All right, so guys, obviously you just saw a clip from Hoboken. We are starting awfully early, 6 months out. We already have a council slate for Mayor Bhalla. So Mark, let me ask you, what do you think about the fact that Mayor Bhalla, as of today, subject to change, we have a whole lot of time, but as of today, he's not running anyone in the 3rd Ward against Michael Russo. So what do you make of that?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I did ask him, I mean, when I had it, and our viewers just saw the couple of questions we had a chance to ask him on Tuesday night, but 5 council members that he wants to replace on the dais, and but obviously with Michael Russo, I guess he feels he has a very good working political relationship with him, and we hope to follow up with the mayor to ask him why he feels that why it won't be necessary to run a challenger in that particular ward.
Yeah, a campaign spokesman has already told another media outlet, our friends at HMAG, that the situation is fluid, which could mean almost anything in Hoboken. So let's see how that goes. But the filing deadline is not till after the summertime, and obviously we haven't even hit Memorial Day yet. So this is clearly just the beginning. I wouldn't even call this the first chapter yet. But just looking at some of the matchups, what do you think is going to be the premier showdown, if you will, in this season?
That's a great question, John. I mean, in fact, and our viewers just saw me interview Magdalia Milano, and asking her about, is she ready to go to battle with Mike DeFusco, who I think that will probably be one of the most hotly contested races, because I think that's the one seat that Mayor Ravi Bhalla would like to be able to claim as, would like to have as a political ally.
You mean him and Mike don't like each other?
Last time I checked, John. So we had a chance to ask her that, he raised $500,000 during a mayoral campaign. Will, she be ready to match that? I guess she's going to need some kind of super PAC money. But she made, obviously, the note that this is not a mayoral campaign, but nonetheless, I'm sure there'll be plenty of money flooding into the race.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of green in this one. NJ Elak is going to be busy. Those campaign managers are going to certainly have their hands full, but I think we're going to have a good time. I think that much we could say safely. Knock on wood.
I think we'll be pretty busy come as the days, weeks, and months draw closer to November 5th, John.
Very good, Mark. So now we also want to talk about the Jersey City Board of Education.
Could I just say, just sorry to interrupt you, John, but could I just say, we did have, and I think that was one of the answers that Mayor Bhalla revealed when we asked him, as far as if all 5 candidates that he chose for his team lose, how would then that affect his governorship in the remaining first term? Mayorship, I should say. And he said that if all those 5 challengers lose, he said that his doors would still remain open for all city council council persons.
Well, that would be a sight to see, and it's an interesting choice of words given that controversy with the 2 councilwomen being asked to leave City Hall a couple weeks ago. But again, we're just at the very beginning. There's way too much to speculate on. Let's just see what happens in the next couple days. So with that, I did also want you to have a chance to talk about this ongoing saga with the Board of Education over in Jersey City. I know we've talked about this on every show so far, and I think that's probably the only constant. But it's something that you've been on the ground for a lot. And I know there was a protest organized by students, teachers, and parents yesterday from the Newark Pedestrian Plaza to City Hall, and then spilled into the council meeting. So for those that missed it, just tell us a little bit about what this was and why people felt this was important.
Yeah, it was led by students. One of the main organizers is a former Jersey City Public School student who's now a Rutgers student. And
that's Jai Patel, right?
Exactly. And so he did an excellent job with his colleagues in organizing the march. And the march went from Newark Avenue outside the Porsche Pizza establishment on Newark Avenue, and they marched to City Hall. And they were chanting. It was a very robust rally. People were chanting. And then we heard from Board of Education trustee Musab Ali, as well as Ward E Councilman James Solomon. And Mr. Ali said that he's all in favor of raising the school tax levy. In fact, he said that the board has already raised the school tax levy this year by 10%. And then Mr. Councilman Solomon spoke and said that he's all in favor and that he's committed to making sure that the BOE can maybe try to recoup some of the abatement money, tax abatement money that the city has been collecting for the past few years.
So Mark, as you and our viewers obviously remember, Sudan Thomas, the Board of Ed president, was on last week. Originally, about 2 months ago, we thought there was going to be 700 layoffs. Now it's 150, but there was a little twist last night, very quickly.
Yeah, of course, John. He said that it was a $40 million in staff cuts, but because they were able to get $27 million on the payroll tax collection, that number may drop down to 200 now, because it's not related to the budgets, because the BOE is having an audit done by operational efficiency auditors that may want to eliminate jobs that they say are redundant.
Very good, Mark. Thanks so much.
Thanks
Ladies
again,
and gentlemen,
John.
thank you for tuning in. Let's not forget about our veterans this weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. We'll catch you next week.